morning and greetings from Northumberland. It's just about sunrise on the 30th of October. The month is drawing to an end. In our gospel reading today, there continues to be this tension between Jesus and the religious authorities. A building of, I think hatred is not too strong a word, between those who are in power and Jesus, who is trying to live and to show a new way. And of course we know that this tension continues to build until Jesus is arrested and crucified in Jerusalem. These views lead to the conflict that we know comes. And that's because Jesus is trying to show a new way, and people, especially Jewish leaders and authorities, can't get hold of it. It's part of the narrative that the people in power find it hard to be challenged. On the other hand, if we look at our news today and our news this week, we see terrible tragedies. We see the terrible tragedy in Nice in France, where 3 worshippers and other people attacked in a church as they met to celebrate the Mass. And we see a terrible attack on them, which seems to have been motivated by some sort of distorted religious vision. We see in the news earlier this week the death of those refugees in the English Channel. People who were fleeing a difficult and dangerous path, at least in part because of the difficulties in living under the regime which was in existence in their own country. And we see a report yesterday into anti-Semitism at the heart of British political life. All of these things take me back to our readings on Sunday and the importance of them. If you remember, it was Jesus' summary of the law when he's asked what we must do. Love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and love your neighbour as yourself. For Jesus and for the Christian witness that has stood for 2,000 years, these things go together. That our love of God can only be truly real if it is lived out in the love of our neighbour. And that we're not really able to love our neighbours in our own strength unless we love God. This is a Christian witness. This is a witness that has been at the centre of our understanding of the society in which we live for many, many centuries. We are facing, as I've said so many times in the last 6 months, an unprecedented challenge to our communities and our societies because of this global pandemic. And the only way to get through this is through our love of each other and our care for each other. These cruel events that we've witnessed this week highlight the destructive power that is potentially within human beings. The destructive power of distorted ideology, of fanatical beliefs. When Christ calls us to completely serve him, he calls us to serve him in the way of love. Let us pray for that way, for us, for our nation, and for the world. May God bless us all.